Located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Portland Snowhawks and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we finally made it, partner, through the winter, through the spring, now into the summer, and football finally back.
And during that time off, we all cherish our vacation time, but admit it, you're the same as me. When you were working out, when you were doing things, you thought about football, didn't you? And you couldn't wait to be back up here again.
Here's the punter, Bradley Pinion, on to get us started. And we are underway from Ford Field. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford is a big-armed guy who's learned how to temper some of his throws. Actually has added a lot more touch and accuracy as his career has gone along. Big-time confidence in his arm, though. Any throw you want, he can make it.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. A good, safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1.
Let's 32.
Back to throw, Stafford. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. The ball comes out. It's going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, you got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Taken in at the 11. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Lady! Just stop here, D. Shift.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
On the double.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. And this offense can air it out, and when they do, you have to key on Mike Evans.
And we do think about his catch radius first and foremost. A tall, lean receiver, but he actually can make some agile plays as well.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, box drop. Get it.
2nd and 6. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 21.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
60 outlaw. Hey, wahoo!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Hassan Reddick, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here, back-to-back sacks. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Back to throw here. And it's caught. Touchdown. Mike Evans there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they? I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. The shotgun snap for Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play.
On the ready.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Johnson. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Here's Johnson. He won't go down. Give him 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Let's go. 70, Indy. Rip left, rip left. Deep rip, deep rip.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the 1st down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't he?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and pressure advantage.
Over the middle, complete. That's Black. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. The result, a 1st down as the quick slant gets them 14. Martinez throwing on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Being nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Lions will take over. So out now come the Lions. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Off-play action. Morgan, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the defense. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Gay is on for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here come the Lions now. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know, they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Looking to throw. Martinez. To the catch made by Hopkins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
This quarterback now, just 2 of 5 since coming on, but he does have a first down here. Back to throw. Martinez. And an alley to run. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive lineman.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, They really created great space for the runner to get in.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. 2nd and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Morgan now. From the gun, he'll throw. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime, something to build on maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
The Lions defense now back onto the field, and we watch now how effective they've been, how disruptive they've been in the backfield.
And what's been so difficult for the offense is that you know that they spent all week rehearsing these things, working on blitz pickups, protections, knowing where the pressure is likely to come from. They've read the scouting reports. They've watched the tape. But sometimes, under pressure, that coordination breaks down, and I think that's what we're seeing here.
They go play action here on first down. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Martinez now to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
To throw is Martinez on 3rd down. He's got his man on the crossing route. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown. A big play there. 74 yards. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw. Morgan looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ferguson. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Back to throw. Morgan, and he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Morgan on first down. Got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. That one goes for 24 yards.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. Now a timeout signal for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this from 43. Prater's kick is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So after the penalty, we'll have one final untimed play here before halftime. They'll throw now on the final play. Oh, he's thinking end zone for Evans. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, Hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
So we're going to look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Andy Isabella was the intended target. First week of the preseason, probably not the pass, the impression that the rookie wants to leave right there.
Yeah, no probably about it, because that's not what you want to do to try and impress your new coaching staff, try to impress your locker room, and most importantly, yourself. Probably spent all night last night saying, don't throw an interception early. Make sure you take care of the football. Well, now he's got it out of the way. Hopefully he can just settle in and move on.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And the pressure gets to him again.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they are silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now Morgan to throw on 2nd down.
My good friend, I'm just going to pose the question to you. Did that look like a pass that he should have thrown?
Now, the rookie probably needs to be a little bit more careful in these situations.
Yeah, that throw will turn him into a veteran quicker, but not in the way that he wants. He wants to learn his lessons by making good throws, not throws like that.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So here are visitors to take over on offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Martinez. Throw left side complete. It's Black. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give him 12 yards that time. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now a handoff looking right. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 3rd quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports.
Okay, Frank. Come on, boy. 56. Check 56. I got you. I got you, son. I said go.
Now Martinez looking to throw on 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Back to throw. Martinez. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that's caught inside the 35. A 1st down and then some. 36 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Again, he'll drop to throw. It's complete to Hopkins. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone, and he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball...
Now the ball comes loose, and the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Now they try the right side here. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end, and they'll get this down to the 10.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. Ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken very short. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
On 2nd down now. Start. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through, But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Here's Morgan to throw on third down. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
So here are visitors to take over on offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Flushed out right. He'll try and run it. Room to run past mid. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Detroit.